Good evening, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S exam prep. Welcome to this series for last lap to CAT preparation. And today I am going to present a class on Venn diagrams. Okay, so if you see the pattern for the last few years, right, if you've been noticing the pattern, Venn diagram is a common topic, right? So if you see 2017, 18, 20 also there were sets on Venn diagrams. Venn diagrams is a common thing in CAT in the past, recent past. Okay, so it becomes important as it has good chances that it could be asked in the examination, right? So today we are going to solve a few sets based on Venn diagrams and see how to approach the problems. Okay, so we'll be taking two sets from past year CAT papers and two other sets to see that what should be the approach to solve Venn diagrams, how do you form equations, how do you define different regions, etc. Okay, so good evening all. Welcome to this session. So please do like the session if you enjoy this series and do subscribe to our channel because we have been doing a lot for you in terms of your preparation. Okay, and we have started this series for your last leg of preparation so that you sort of have a revision for the coming days and you are able to ace these examinations. Okay, so these are the upcoming sessions. Today we are going to have Venn diagrams and tomorrow we'll have solving parajumbles with Pradeep sir, and then we'll have sessions on all sections, right, be it quant, verbal or DILR, and all sort of questions plus generic sessions as well. Okay, so we have already had some sessions. If you have not watched those, right, so please do watch it. And for the coming classes, this is the schedule. All right, so without wasting much of your time, so let's start with the first set of the day. Okay, this was something which was asked in CAT 2017. Okay, how many of you attempted this question in CAT 2017 paper? I mean, of course, you might not have written CAT 2017, but you must, you are expected to go through past year papers, and this would have I'm sure many of you must have attempted it. If not, so we will attempt it today and see the approach how to solve the question. Okay. So what it says is you read it and then I'll explain it to you. So go through it, go through the text and see what does it say. If you've read it, then we'll move on to the next slide. We'll see further conditions and then we'll proceed to the solving the questions. Okay, so it says that there are two institutes, okay, and they take score of these examinations, right? So AIE and BIE, they have to appear for a common entrance test, and there are three sections: physics, chemistry, and maths. And those who appear for CET, those at or above 80th percentile in at least two sections. So one has to get at least 80 percentile in two sections, and overall 90 percentile are selected for advanced entrance test. Okay, and AIE is used for final selection. Okay, and for the 200 candidates who are at or above the 90th percentile overall based on CET, the following facts are known about their performance in CET. Okay, so there are 200 people who had above 90 percentile, right? Overall 90 percentile. Now we will have to check for the individual section wise percentile whether it is above 80 or not. So the criteria is 80 plus in two sections plus 90 plus overall. Okay, so it says that there are 200 students, they all have 90%. It is saying that 200 students appeared and those who had above 90 percentile. So the data is about these 200 uh, students. Okay, so here are the instructions and we shall use these instructions to fill the information. So the first condition, let us first draw the Venn diagram. So we'll get Venn diagram of three different subjects: physics, chemistry, and mathematics. So it says that no one is below the 80th percentile in all three sections. So someone might be below 80 in one of the sections, two of the sections, but no one is below 80 in all three sections. So the number outside here is 0. Okay. Now, so all these 200 are included in this. That is what is meant by the first statement. 150 are at or above the 80th percentile in exactly two sections. So exactly two sections, let us say A, B, and C are the numbers over here. So that means A plus B plus C is 150. And that is the second thing given to us. Okay. So that means remaining four regions would add up to 50. Okay, the number of candidates at or above 80th percentile only in P is the same as the number of candidates at or above 80th percentile only in C and only in M. So that means only P, only C, only M, all these values are same. Okay, so we can call them X, X, X each. Clear? So now the last statement says number of candidates below 80th percentile in P. Now who will be the candidates below 80th percentile in P? Can someone tell me what would be the equation of the people below 80th percentile in P? By looking at the Venn diagram, can you tell the region in which the number of people would be below 80 percentile in P? So these are what? These circles, these Venn diagrams represent the number of people who are above 80 percentile in different sections. Okay. So if you see this, if we see this thing that these are the people who are above 80 percentile in P, right? So below 80 percentile will be XC plus 2X. Okay. Below 80 percentile in P. Number of candidates below 80 percentile in C. So these are the ones who are above 80 percentile in C. This circle is above 80 percentile in C. So X, 2X plus B, or this. Okay. And similarly below 80 percentile in M will be A plus 2X, because these are the people, this circle represents the ones who are above 80 percentile in M. Okay, so 2X plus A are below 80 percentile in M. Now the next thing that we have to do is the ratio is given as 4:2:1. So let us say that is equal to 4y. Okay, this is equal to 2y. This is equal to y. Okay, because 4:2:1. Okay, so now let's solve for these values and find out what could be the possible values of X and Y. Okay, so the first thing that we will do is we will add all these. Okay, so when you add, you get A plus B plus C. Why did we add? Because we know the value of A plus B plus C. So that is why we'll add these equations. So it gives us A plus B plus C plus 6x is equal to 7y. Okay, so that means 6x plus 150 is equal to 7y. Okay, 6x plus 150 is 7y. So that means we will have to find out the values of x, which is now x, y is an integer. Okay, and so is x. So let us find integer solutions for this. So if you put x is equal to 1, it will not follow, because 156 is not divisible by 7. If you check by 2, it will not follow. If you check by 3, if you put x is equal to 3, you will get 168 is 7y, and you will get y is equal to 24. So one solution is x comma y is 3 comma 24. Okay, now if you know this thing that since we are having as a multiple of 7, right, y is a multiple of 7, so increase x by 7. That's the direct way to check what will be the next value of, since see y and x, these are 7 and 6, right? So increase this by 7. Okay, So if you put 10, that will be 60, and y will be, that gives us 30. Okay, so you could increase this by 6 and increase x by 7, because y is the coefficient of y is 7, so increase x by 7 and increase y by 6, because 6 is the coefficient of x. So if you have done these equations, how to find the integer solutions, right, I'm sure you must be knowing this thing, that how you can directly find out. Okay, now if I put x is equal to the next value, that is 17 and 36, what will happen? Because if I put this, what will happen? This will become 201. Okay, but we know that x, see, a plus b plus c plus 3x should be less than 200, because total number of students is 200. So if you put 17, you will get 51 plus 150, 201. So this is not possible. So we have two possible solutions of this question. Okay, so here are the two possible solutions, and now let us fix these solutions. Okay, let us fix these solutions and find out that, let's find out that how will we get two cases. Basically we'll get two cases and let's solve for it. Okay, so let's see this thing who got like in both the cases. If you put x is equal to 3, so I'll just erase this because we have used this equation. Okay, so we'll draw two Venn diagrams to understand both the cases and what will be the values in this case. Oh, I should not have erased this equation. Okay, so we'll see that equation again. So one is x is equal to 3. Another is x equal to 10. Okay, so if we put x is equal to 3, so total was coming as y was 24. Okay, so y means so one wala part is y. Okay, not in m, so that will be 24. No, 24 is total, so this will be 18. So this will be 18. Okay, and below 80 in C will be 48. So this is 6. So this remaining will be 42. So these three will add up to 48. And these three should add up to, that is 4 ratio, that is 96. So this will be 90. Okay, so you see that 150 done, 159. So the central value will be 41. Okay, let's take the second case where y is equal to x is 10 and y is 30. So if y is 30, so this will be 10, 10, and this will be 10. So 2y will be 60. So 20 plus 40, 60, and 4y will be 120. So 10, 10, 20, this will be 100, right? So 150 and 30, that is 180. So this will be 20. So these are the values that we will get in the Venn diagram. So there are two possible solutions, okay, which we get in this Venn diagram. So it was a difficult set. Okay, so the thing was to understand here is 80%. See, do not get confused what is 80%, below 80%. So basically, let us say, like you can say qualified. Okay, numbers are there to confuse you. 80th percentile. Let us say who passed in P, who passed in C, passed in M. Okay, so treat 80% is passed in these three sections. Okay, so in this case, what we got, we took the values of x. Okay, we took these three as x, then we were given this ratio from which we formed an equation, and we got two possible solutions to it, right? So these are the values that we will get. Okay, now let us proceed to the questions in this. So here's the first question. What can be concluded about the number of candidates sitting for the separate test for BIE who were or at above 90th percentile overall in CET? Now, who are the candidates who are sitting for BIE separately? Okay, so it says that if any candidates is like it is at or above 80th percentile in P. Okay, and who is so AET? See, there are two things, AET and BIE. Okay, so in AET, like if you have 80 plus in two sections and 90 plus overall, okay, so you are, if you have both these criteria, you will be sitting in AET, right? Now, these are the students who had 90% overall. So that 90% criteria is fulfilled. Now it is selecting those who had BIE is selecting those candidates who appeared for AET but could not qualify, right? Who are not eligible. Now, how will they not be eligible? This criteria is met for all candidates. This criteria must not be met. So that means, and that has to be, they have to have 80th percentile in P. Okay, so BI is considering those. So that means it will consider these candidates because they have not qualified in two sections but have 80 percentile in P. Okay, so the answer will be 3 or 10 depending on the case. So it could be 3 candidates or it could be 10 depending on the two cases. Okay. Okay, next question is, if the number of candidates who are at or above 90th percentile overall, so all these candidates are at or above 90th percentile overall, okay, and it is saying that they should be, so we'll have, what were the values here? I think 41 and 20. And above the 80th percentile in all three sections is CET is actually a multiple of 5. So all three sections, so we will consider this case. Okay, you have to find the number of candidates who are at or above the 90th percentile overall and at or above 80th percentile in both P and M in CET. So what will be the number here? So it says, see, at or above 80 percentile in all three sections is actually a multiple of 5. So all three sections is this portion. So in this case, it is not a multiple of 5. So we'll consider this case to find the number of candidates who are at or above 90th percentile overall. So all people are above 90 percentile. So you do not have to worry about this thing, right? It is just a confusing statement. At or above the 80th percentile in both P and M. So both P and M. This is the Venn diagram of P. This is the Venn diagram of N. So both P and M, there are 60 such candidates. Okay, so the answer is 60. Okay, next question. If the number of candidates who are at or above 90 percentile overall, so all candidates are there, right? So you do not have to worry about that. And also at or above 80th percentile in all three sections is in CET is actually a multiple of 5. How many candidates were shortlisted for the AET for AIE? So we have to find how many were shortlisted for AET in this case. So what is the criteria for AET? What is the criteria for AET? So the criteria for AET here is that you should have qualified. So see, in this question, the confusing thing is 80 percentile, 90 percentile, right? So just treat like, see, 90 percentile every one of them has, right? So you do not have to worry about 90 percentile. Okay, you have to think that who was above 80 percentile in two sections. So shortlisted are the ones that have two sections 80 plus and 90 overall, right? 90 overall is met by all people. Okay, 90% overall सबके हैं. These are the only people that have 90% overall, right? And two sections 80 plus. So basically, first of all, this is, we will consider this case, right? All three sections multiple of 5 this case. Two sections में 80 plus किसके हैं? So that means we will exclude these people because they have 80 plus in only one of the sections. ठीक है? So 200 में से we will exclude these 30 people. So we get the answer as 170. So the answer is 170. Right? Okay. Next question. If the number of candidates who are at or above the 90th percentile overall, right? So all of these are overall 90th percentile. Also, or above 80th percentile in P in CET is more than 100. Okay. So P in CET should be more than 100. Now in this case, if you see, this is 40, 80, and this case it is more than 100. So we will consider this case. Okay. Okay, how many candidates had to sit for the separate test for BIE? How many candidates will have to sit for the separate test for BIE? So I think we'll have to go to that slide to explain the rule. Okay, so it said that like those who candidates like how to why will someone sit for it is saying that like those candidates who had separate separate test for BI is basically the ones who एक minute, let's read that condition again. So that we get it. So what does BIE do is, BIE has a different process for selection. If any candidate is appearing in the AED by AI, BIE considers that AED score for final selection. Okay, provided the candidate is at or above 80th percentile in P. So whoever is above 80th percentile in P, they will be considered. Okay. Any other candidates at or above 80th percentile in P in CET who is not eligible for AET is required to appear in a separate test to be conducted. Okay, for being considered for final selection, there are 400 candidates who are above 80th percentile in P, right? So there are total 400 candidates, and we know that these are 200. Okay, so these are the 200 candidates, and so 400 candidates are there. Okay, and how many of them will be qualified? So there are 400 candidates who are for BIE. Okay, and out of these, how many have cleared AIE? So we will have, these many will have cleared AIE because they are clearing two sectionals. Okay, so that is 101. So when you subtract, you get 299 candidates who will be in this BIE. So that was a separate condition given that there is a second test. If you do not qualify in this test, right, you can sit for that, but you should have 80 percentile in P, right? So it was given that there are 400 people who have 80 percentile in P, right? So out of them, there are 200 who are qualified, who qualified for this, right? So there are total 400 candidates, and these will be appearing in AIE, right? So these will be selected in AIE, that is 101. These will not be selected, so 299 candidates. Okay. All right, so now let's do the next set, which was asked in CAT 2018. So that this was a set from 2017. Now we'll do a set from 2018 as well. Okay. I don't know how many of you have done this set also. You should have done it. So it said there are 1600 satellites. They were sent by a country for several purposes. The purposes are broadcasting, communication, surveillance, and others. So it is saying that a satellite can serve multiple purposes. A satellite serving either B, C or S does not serve O. So even if it is serving one of these, it will not be in O. So O is a separate Venn diagram. Okay, or you prefer not to draw a circle, you can just let it be isolated as well. If it is serving any of these three purposes, it cannot serve O. So O is a separate entity. Okay. Now it is saying the number of satellites serving B, C and S may not be exclusively are in the ratio 2:1:1. So that means the total of these ratios is B ratio C ratio S is 2:1:1. Okay. The number of satellites serving all three of B, C and S is 100. So this common portion is 100. That is given. The number of satellites serving C exclusively is same as the number of satellites serving S exclusively. So these values are same. This number is 30% of the number of satellites serving B exclusively. This is 30% of B. Okay. So to have a reasonable variable, let us put 10x so that we get 3x and 3x here. Okay. 30% of this, 30% of this. The number of satellites serving O is the same as the number of satellites serving both C and S but not B. Okay. O is same as C and S but not B. Let us put this value as Y. Okay. So now let us, now these are the conditions that are given to us. Now what is given to us is that this value is double of these values. Okay. So let us take this value as Z because these values will be equal, that C and S will have same value. So 100y 3x is common, this should also be a common value. So let us put this as Z. Right, now let's use the first condition that total of B is 2 times the total of C and S, isn't it? 2:1 mein. So we will put, let us put this equation. So what do you get? You get 10x plus 2z plus 100 is 2 times of, this is 3x plus y plus z plus 100. Okay, and you will get 10x plus 2z so when you solve this 2z you can cancel out, you will get 4x and minus 2y is equal to 100, or 2x minus y is 50. Okay, 2x minus y is 50, so you can put y is equal to, you can say y is equal to 50 minus 2x, you can call it 2x minus 50. Okay, so this was a question on maximization and minimization. So y is 2x minus 50. Okay, now second thing, let us put y is equal to 2x minus 50 and solve this. Okay, so now what we will do is we will add all these variables and add to 1600 because the grand sum is 1600. Okay, so let us add all these values. What do we get as the sum? Total number of people is 1600. Total number of satellites is 1600. So 10 plus 3 plus 3, 16x plus 2y. Y plus y, 2y. 2y will be 4x minus 100. And that will be, this we have added, 16x we added. Okay, we added y and y. Now we have to add 100. Okay, so that will cancel out essentially this 100, and 2z plus 2z is equal to 1600. Right, so this 100 will cancel out, we get 20x plus 2z is equal to 1600. So we can say 10x plus z is equal to 800. Okay, so 10x plus z is 800. So can I say that z is equal to 800 minus 10x from this equation? Okay, so I'll get z is equal to 800 minus 10x. So these are the values of y and z in terms of x. Okay, now what is x? This is 30% of this, so we took 10x, so these are 3x, 3x. Okay, and this value is equal to this value, and also this is double of these. So first, using the criteria that b ratio c is this is 2:1, we got the relation between x and y. Okay, then secondly, using this total, we got the ratio of z with respect to x. Okay, now this was a question on maximization and minimization. Okay, this was on maximization and minimization. What could be the minimum value of x? Can you tell what will be the minimum value of x? What could be the minimum value of x using these two equations, if you could find out? So minimum value, if I talk about, so y should be greater than equal to 0. Y will be positive or equal to 0, right? So if I put 2x minus 50 is greater than equal to 0, 2x is greater than equal to 50. So minimum will be 25, right? At 25 it will be 0. Above that it will be a positive number. Okay. Similarly, x maximum. So I can go up to 80. If I put x is equal to 80, this will be 0. Below that it will be a positive number. So it will range between x is greater than equal to 25 and less than equal to 80. So these are the range of x. Okay, this is the range of the values of x. Okay, so the questions will be on maximization and minimization. Okay, so here's the first question, that what can be said about the number of satellites serving C? How many satellites serve the purpose C, whatever that's communication? So it has to be a range. Okay, range will be defined by the value of x. So what do you get? So first of all, let us find how many satellites are serving C. Okay, how many satellites are serving C? So add this, you get 900 minus 50, that is 850, and this is 10. 5 minus 10 is minus 5. 850 minus 5x. Okay, 8 minus 850 minus 5x is the number. Okay, now try to put maximum and minimum. If x is equal to 25, this number will be 800 minus 850 minus 125, that is 725. Okay, if x is equal to 80, right, this number will be 850 minus 400, that is 450. So it is in the range 450 to sorry, this ये होगा 725. 450 to 725. Okay, so this will be the range in which you will get these values. Okay, the answer is option C. Okay, what is the minimum possible number of satellites serving B exclusively? What is the minimum possible number of satellites that serve exclusively B, only B? So only B, if you see, only B is 10x. Okay? And the value of minimum value of x is 25. So the number should be 250. Right? Minimum lena. So we are doing minimum and maximum. So minimum is 250. Okay. If at least 100 of the 1600 satellites were serving O, what can be said about the number of satellites serving S? At least 100 of these satellites were serving O. That means 2x minus 50 is greater than equal to 100. Okay, so you'll get a minimum value of x and you have to tell the number of satellites serving S. Can you find out these numbers, or it could be of the type cannot be determined? So what if I put this is at least 100, right? So 2x is greater than equal to 150. So x is greater than equal to 75. So minimum value of x is 75. Now it is asking what can be said about the number of satellites serving S. So how many satellites are serving S? Add this, we get minus 5x. Okay? And this is 850. अच्छा वही जो पहले निकला था, the same value, right? 850 minus 5x. So in this case we are getting the maximum value of x as 75. So if x is maximum, this will be the minimum, right? So minimum value you will get as, if you subtract 375 from it, so minimum you will get 475. So at least 475. Minimum 475, greater than 475, it can have values. Okay, so it's just like the previous question. They've just asked, instead of C they asked for S. Okay, okay, at most 475. Wait, satellite serving S. Okay, X is greater than 75. Okay, wait, it will be actually correct कह रहा है, x is greater than 75. ठीक है, x 75 से बड़ा होगा तो ये वैल्यू छोटी रहेगी. Yeah, so sorry, that will be maximum. See, if x is minimum, right, so negative x will be maximum, right? So yeah, so my bad, and you have to be careful about these things also. Okay, so it is like maximum 475. क्लियर, क्योंकि जब x मिनिमम होगा, राइट, x will be 75 or more than 75. Okay, so this will be this. Okay, next question. If the number of satellites serving at least two among B, C and S is 1200, which of the following must be false? Which of the following must be false in this case? So it is saying that at least two among B, C and S is 1200. So this plus this plus this, so this entire region is 1200. So solve for x using these and then read the conditions and tell which of the following must be false out of these. So if this is at least 1200, so that will be 16, 17, 17 minus 50, 1650. Okay, minus 10, 20 and plus 2 minus 18x is your 1200. That is what is given, right? So x is equal to 25 in this case. Okay, x is 25. So x is 25. All 1600 serve B, C or S. Will it be true? Yes, because ये 0 हो जाएगा, right? This will become 0. So this is true, but we have to answer which is false. The number of satellites serving B is more than 1000. ठीक है, so B कितना हो जाएगा? 1600 plus 1700, okay, minus 10x. Minus 10x, yes, greater than है, right? So this is also true. The number of satellites serving C cannot be uniquely determined. See, now this equation is in form of x. I know the value of x, so this can be determined, hence this will be false. I can determine this value because it is in terms of x. Okay, and B exclusively will be 250. That is of course true. So this is the statement which is false. Okay, so this was a question which was asked in CAT 2018. Okay, so you should have gone through past year papers, so that gives you an idea that what type of questions have been asked in the past. Alright, so now let's do the next set. This is a fresh set created by us, not asked in any of the examinations. Okay, so let's solve it. It's a 3-set Venn diagram. Okay, comprising of, it says that there are 1500 people, they visited an ice cream parlor, and certain number of people like one or more than one ice cream out of 3 types of ice creams: pista, chocolate and blackcurrant. Okay, and there are some people who didn't like any of the 3 items. Okay, so draw a Venn diagram and start solving it based on the conditions. So it's like PCM and now PCB, isn't it? Their question was PCM, physics, chemistry, maths, but this PCB is different from physics, chemistry, bio. Okay, so read this and try to solve it. Let's see how much time you take it. So take some time, take some 5-7 minutes to fill this and try to solve it. That should be a good enough time, right? Not more than 7 minutes just to get the values. Then answering questions, of course, would take extra time. But if you are able to do this in, let's say, 7 to 8 minutes, that's a good time to solve this. Okay. So all conditions are given. These are the only conditions, no extra conditions apart from this. It just requires some calculation to solve it. So 1500 people visited and some people like one particular type. You solved these sets, new sets for me. Yeah, it's fine that you do not remember. I mean, the same set is not going to be asked again. but it was just the approach. Even I had solved that set long back to 2017 one, and I could not once some student asked, I got stuck in that. I was not able to solve because I had solved it long back. So it happens that you might forget. I've got the second slot, which is 12:30 to 2:30. Anyone done with it? So let us read these statements. We are not given any number as such because if you see 165 less than something else, right? So we are not given any number. We are not given any that this is an absolute number over here. Okay, so what we will do, we will go sequentially then. If some number was given, we would have filled that. Okay, so first thing says the numbers of people who like only pista, only chocolate, and only black currant is 14 ratio 13. Okay. These are the ratios of things. Okay. The numbers of people who like only pista is 7 times who like all three. So all three will be 2x. As simple as that. The number of people who like both pista and chocolate but not black currant is 50% of more than who like all three. Pista and chocolate. See, you should be careful about these words, but not black currant. So this will be 3x, isn't it? Okay. The number of people who like both blackcurrant and pista is 165 less than the number of people who like only chocolate ice cream. Okay? Only chocolate is 11x. Okay. So this is who like both blackcurrant and pista. So both blackcurrant and pista is this. So this total is 11x minus 165. Okay, now out of this 2x is in this portion. So this remaining portion will be 9x minus 165. Okay, so you should be very particular about these terms. So it is saying both blackcurrant and pista. So that means we shall consider this entire region. That is the place where people make mistakes. Okay, and you should be careful about this. So 9x minus 165 because this total will become 11x minus 165. Okay, next is the number of people who like both blackcurrant and chocolate ice cream but not pista. Blackcurrant and chocolate but not pista. This means this region is 5 more than the number of people who like both blackcurrant and pista but not chocolate. This is 5 more than this. So ये हो जाएगा 9x minus 160. ठीक है, 9x minus 160 हो गया, right? Okay. The number of people who didn't like any of the three ice creams is 50% more than the number of people who like exactly two types of ice cream. Okay, so it is 50%. All three is 50% more than the number of people who like exactly two types of ice cream. Exactly two कितना हो जाएगा 9 9 18 plus 321x minus 325. Right, it is 1.5 times of that. ठीक है, ये इक्वेशन बन गई. अब क्या सॉल्व करना है? What will we solve now? And if you know what to solve, yes. So we will equate everything to 1500. Correct. So Snigdha, you have solved. So what is the value of x that you are getting? How 9x minus 165? अरे देखो, it is saying that number of people who like both blackcurrant and pista ice cream is 165 who like only chocolate. Only chocolate कितना है? 11x है. ठीक है. So both pista and blackcurrant ये हो जाएगा. This portion, this I you are seeing, right? So this total is 11x minus 165. ठीक है. Now 2x is already in this region, so this will be 9x minus 165. क्योंकि इस दोनों को टोटल करोगे तो आएगा 11x minus 165. Okay, so we will add all these to equate to 1500 because there are total of 1500 people. Okay, so when we add all these, you should get ये तो 1.5 हो जाएगा, that is 31.5. ठीक है, और ये आ जाएंगे आपके कितने x आ गए? 14, 25, 27. It is, I mean, इसमें लॉजिक ज्यादा नहीं है, इसमें कैलकुलेशन हैवी है, राइट? We just add this, so 28, 30 plus 18, 30 plus 18 gives you 40. That is 63 आ जाएगा ना, 61x, सॉरी, x की टोटल हो जाएंगे this, ठीक है, and minus will be, this is 325 into 1.5, you will get 162, that will be 487.5. और भी कुछ है माइनस करने को? यस, माइनस 325. ठीक है, इन सबको ऐड करने से ये आ गया 61x minus 325. इन सबको ऐड करने से, and this is this, so you will get 92.5x minus this will be 812.5. ठीक है, that is equal to this, you will get 1500. तो ये इक्वेशन बन रही होगी 92.5x minus 812.5 is 1500. So you will get 92.5x is equal to 2312.5. ठीक है, so 90 into 25 is 2250. So you will get x is equal to 25. ठीक है, x 25 आ जाएगा, right? Getting x is equal to 25. See, it was not difficult, it's just that calculation intense है, थोड़ी सी calculation करनी पड़ेगी. So we found all these regions. Now this outside वाला is 1.5 times. ठीक है, so this is 1.5 times of this, plus ये जो अंदर वाला region है, we added all these, we got 61x minus 325. So we added all these, that adds up to and that gives x as 25. ठीक है, now x 25 कर लो, so you will get all the values. ठीक है, so you shall get these values. ठीक है, क्योंकि 14 था 350, so you'll get these values. Now we'll answer the questions. What percent of the people didn't like any of the 3 ice cream varieties? So there are 1500 people. ठीक है, 1500 में से 300 do not like anything. So 20% of the people don't like any of the 3 varieties. ठीक है, what is the difference between the number of people who like pista ice cream and the number who like blackcurrant ice cream? Questions are not difficult in that. It was just about that calculation thing कि वहां पे बिगड़ सकता है calculation. So what is the difference between them? So pista and blackcurrant, right? Pista and blackcurrant में ये common है. This is 425 and this is 390, right? So you take the difference. The difference is 35. Okay. If the ratio of males to females who like both blackcurrant and chocolate ice cream but not pista, blackcurrant and chocolate but not pista is 3:2. ठीक है, you have to find the number of males, right? So 3:2 में कर दोगे तो number of males you will get as 39. ठीक है, that will be 39 in this case. Find the ratio of the number of people who like only one ice cream flavor to the number of people who don't like any of the ice cream flavors. Only 1 to none. Now see this. Key, see this value you are getting as, you will get 950 and this is 300, right? So 19:6. This is the answer. Okay. Now, however, now let me tell you one important thing. Okay, this helps you a lot during the examination. Suppose, like you find this question heavy, ठीक है, दिख के ही लग रहा है कि बहुत सारी कैलकुलेशन करनी है, right? Now you saw this question in the paper, right? You thought कि चलो मैंने सेट पढ़ लिया, then you decided कि I should I go ahead or should I not go ahead, right? Now you remember those values 14, 13, 11. ठीक है, that add up to 38. ठीक है, multiple of 19. ठीक है, so if you see this is something that could strike your mind, right? So that's an educated guess to solve this question, and maybe you could have solved using this trick. Maybe you could have used this to solve the question. Okay, so this is a level of awareness that is needed in the examination, and it's a rare thing. I'm saying that even I am not able to get this, right? But when you solve it later, you find it. But yes, if you are able to strike such things in the examination, please do make sure that you make use of it. Okay, suppose तुमने देखा कि यार कैलकुलेशन करनी है, बट आगे बढ़े तो ये देखा एक क्वेश्चन ऐसा है, राइट? ओनली वन यू नो इज 38x. ठीक है, वो निकाल दिया था, स्टार्टिंग में रख लिया था. नाउ यू सी ओनली वन ऑप्शन मल्टीपल ऑफ 90, राइट? एंड यू पुट दैट एंड मे बी यू कुड हैव सॉल्व यूजिंग दिस. एक बार ट्राई करके देखें. सो लेट अस सी कि अगर हम 19:6 रखते हैं, सो वी नो दिस इज 19x. ठीक है, मतलब ये हमारा 38x है, सो बाहर 12x आ जाना चाहिए था, राइट? सो अब लेट्स गो टू दैट वेन डायग्राम अगेन, जहां पे हमने सॉल्व किया था. सो वी विल सी कि हाउ समटाइम्स looking at the questions eases your solution. ठीक है, यहाँ पे सॉल्व किया था. अब I'll just clear certain things. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा, ताकि ठीक है. तो अभी हमने क्या देखा कि we were 19:6. so 38x ये है, तो ये बाहर वाला हो जाएगा 6x, isn't it? So total हो गया 44x. right? And what are these? We will add, नहीं, अंदर क्या था, 61x. inside it was 61x minus 325. ठीक है, and outside it is 6x, that is equal to 1500. ठीक है, so this gives you 67x is equal to 1825. ठीक है, so 60 into 7, 60 into 25 is 1500 and 7 into, नहीं, कुछ तो गड़बड़ हो रही है. कुछ गड़बड़. Was it 61x only? 1825. Let me just check. अरे ये 12x होगा. That was 19:6 ना, तो ये 12x होगा. 19:6 तक 12x हो जाएगा. That will be 73x is this. So you could have got x is equal to 25 and would have saved this calculation. ये जो point में आ रहा था, you would have saved time on that. Okay, so that is one way to approach. I mean, if that strikes nothing like that, right? So that is the lucky moment that you get in the examination, and that helps you save a lot of time. But that is pure luck, right? Because in the examination, you do not have time to think that much. But in case you get that opportunity, make use of it. Generally in quant we make use of such things because we see the options, right, and try to do that. ठीक है, quant में अक्सर करते हैं ना कि अच्छा नहीं बन रहा है, so options put करके देख लेते बन जाता है. But DILR we seldom do that. Okay, and I'm saying that it happens with me also, right? I do not notice such things, but later on sometimes these things strike your mind. All right, so let's do the next set. It says that a survey was conducted among 2100 people about the types of food Chinese, Mexican, or Indian they prefer to eat when they eat outside. Okay, so again a three-set Venn diagram. Again, it will involve some heavy calculations probably. Chinese, Mexican, and Indian. Okay, so try to solve it. Okay, take some time. Again, I would say similar time should be taken. Somewhere around 7 to 8 minutes to solve this set. Okay, I'm talking about the like if you compare yourself to 99 plus percentile, 7-8 minutes to just to get these values. Okay, and then of course answering questions would take another 2 to 3 minutes. ठीक है, क्योंकि कहीं पे ऐड करना पड़ेगा, कहीं पे कुछ करना पड़ेगा. Or rather I would say 99.5 percentile, 7 to 8 minutes to read and solve such a question. If someone solves it, tell me the number of people who like all three items. Okay, and if you are enjoying these sessions, please don't forget to like the sessions and do watch these classes every day. These are quite helpful for your last leg of preparation. Okay, a sort of revision for all teachers, right? You have quant classes as well by Saral sir, Vikas sir. Okay, then you have DILR and then verbal as well. You are seeing some classes on different types of RCs, parajumbles, etc., etc. Okay, so don't forget to attend these classes on a daily basis. These are some things that help you in the last moment. Okay, so revision of all the concepts that you have studied. So if you are done, tell the number of people who like all three kinds of food. Which category are you? Are you among those 1030 people who do not like any of these or fall into any of these categories? Now, what is different in this case is, in the previous case, the ratio of only one item was given. Okay, that was still fine. Now, in this case, if we are given the ratio of Chinese, Indian, and Mexican, so that means the total of this. Okay, total ratio, total ratio, total. ठीक है, so not the individual items. जैसे वो satellite वाले question में था ना 2:1:1, so similar kind of ratio are given. ठीक है, so that is the combination of it. Okay, so Vicky and Rishabh say all three. Okay, good. and we'll see a good way to solve these, right? The equation approach to solve this question. Otherwise, you will go crazy making equations in this. 1070 by 22x. No, so that means this. See, I told you that the combination of these, right? So it will have repeats also. Okay, when you include these, this will have repeats also. So you will see one good approach to solve this question, right? Has anyone got the values thus far or partially filled? पूरा नहीं भी भरा होगा, partially तो भर दिया होगा. ओके, पार्शली तो भर दिया लोगों ने, पर पूरा किसी का नहीं भरा. Okay, partially lot of people have filled. Okay, so let us see this. So Rocky, what did I just tell you? कि 1070 ये नहीं है ना. This includes repeat regions also. ये भी तो count होंगे. 1070 is individuals. Okay, so now let us come to that part. Okay, so it seems that you are taking more time than expected. Okay, so not to worry, I'll assist you in that, and remember this thing so that in case if it happens that such kind of question appears, similar concept, so you are able to tackle it. Okay, so सबसे पहले, like I hope you are this intelligent that you must have taken a suitable variable here. The number of people who like Chinese and Mexican but not Indian are 25% less than the number of people who like all three foods. Okay, so all three is it is 25% less. So 25% is 1/4. 1/4 less है, तो all three foods you should have taken 4x as the variable. Right, I'm assuming that many of you are smart enough to take such a variable. Okay, so Chinese and Mexican but not Indian. Chinese, Mexican but not Indian, these are 3x. Okay, so all three 4x and this is 3x. Right, now the number of people who like Indian and Mexican but not Chinese, Indian, Mexican but not Chinese, are 5 more than the number of people who like Chinese and Mexican but not Indian. ये जो 3x है, इससे 5 more है. So this value is 3x plus 5. Okay, and the number of people who like both Chinese and Indian are 15 less, both Indian and Mexican. Okay, both Indian and Mexican. Right, now you need to be very careful that it is talking about that the number of people who like both Chinese and Indian. Okay, so both Chinese and Indian मतलब ये complete बात कर रहा है, that is 15 less. So 7x plus 5 minus 15, that is 7x minus 10. Right, 7x minus 10, so 4x ही है, so this will be 3x minus 10. ठीक है, ये 3x minus 10 आ गया होगा. Done. Okay, now we are given that the number of people who like only Mexican, ठीक है, only Mexican, are 5 less than 6 times the number of people who like Chinese and Indian but not Mexican. Chinese and Indian, Chinese and Indian, but Chinese here, Indian here. हाँ, this is 6 times of this, 6 times of 3x minus 10 plus minus 5. ठीक है, तो कितना आ जाएगा 18x minus 65. ठीक है, 18x minus 65 आ गया. ठीक है, एंड जो कोई भी लाइक नहीं करते दैट इज 1030. ठीक है, All right. Now listen carefully. Now it is the part that we shall be solving in a. I mean, we listen to this thing carefully. How we are going to solve this now. अब देखो हमें ओनली मैक्सिकन पता है, ठीक है, ओनली मैक्सिकन सॉरी ओनली मैक्सिकन पता है, सो कंप्लीट मैक्सिकन इस पता है. सो हाउ मेनी आर मैक्सिकन? मैक्सिकन हो जाएगा आपका 25 प्लस 3 28x, ठीक है, एंड माइनस 65 माइनस 60, ये हो गया मैक्सिकन, isn't it? Okay, now this ratio is 7:9:6. Chinese, Indian and Mexican 7:9:6 दिया है, ठीक है. We will not find these things. Instead of finding these things, what is the sum of these things? You know what is this thing, right? 1 plus 2 plus 3, these equations, you know these equations. 1 plus 2 plus 3 वाली equation कैसे form करते हैं? So one is those who like only one food, right? 2 types, and those who like all 3 types. Okay, these are the 3 categories of people. So what is the value of 1 plus 2 plus 3? That is equal to 1070, क्योंकि 2100 people, right? Out of these 1030 do not like anything. This is this. और सेकेंड इक्वेशन किस फॉर्मेट की बनती है? 1 plus 2 times of 2 plus 3 times of 3. That means कि the sum of all these 3 circles, ठीक है, 3 circles individually लोगे, add करोगे. So when you add this, right, and you add this and you add this, what will happen? This 4x will get added 3 times, ठीक है, जो g वाला होता है 3 बार ऐड होता है. Now 3x and this portion will get added in Chinese. This 3x will get added in Chinese and Mexican. This will get added in Chinese and Indian, and this will also get added 2 times, right? What will be this value? What will be this value? Can we find this value in terms of x? Anyone thought like this, that can it be done this way? Now see this, कि Mexican we found out the region, ठीक है, Mexican का रेशियो कितना है? 6 है, ठीक है. टोटल रेशियो कितना हो गया? 22, right? So can I say that this total is 22/3 times of Mexican? Mexican का टोटल है 28 minus 60, right? So 28, 6 parts is 28x minus 60. So total are 22 parts, isn't it? So 22/6 times of Mexican. Sorry, it will be 22/6 of Mexican. ठीक है, 22/6 of Mexican. So can I say 11/3 of 28 minus 60 is this? ठीक है, so that is 11/3 of 28x minus 60, ठीक है. Now this is equal to, what will you get? You will get, पहले तो ये पूरा हो जाएगा, ठीक है. This is 1 plus 2 times of 2 plus 3 times of 3. So this is this equation, isn't it? So मैं एक काम करता हूँ, I'll just like do it on a fresh slide, okay, so that you get to understand this, right? So एक fresh slide में लिखते हैं. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 is equal to 11/3 times of 28x minus 60. ठीक है, clear है? How did we get it? Because 6 parts was this. Mexican is 6 parts, 6 part was this. So 22 parts will be this. So 11/3. and sorry, this is this. Okay, and 1 plus 2 plus 3 is equal to 1070. This is the second equation, right? Now if I subtract, what do I get? I get 2 plus 2 times of 3 is equal to this. So let us put, what is 2? 2 is 3x plus 3x plus 3x, 9x minus 5. Okay, 9x minus 5. What is 3? 3 was 4x, so 8x. इसको कर लो 308x minus 660 by 3. Okay, so इसको थोड़ा सा इक्वेशन सॉल्व कर लेते हैं. So if you bring this side, it will become 1065 and 308x minus 660. ये हो जाएगा 17x further, right? So minus 51x upon 3 is this, or like let's make it this side, 257x minus 660 will be 4195. No, 3195. 65 into 3 is 195. So this gives 257x is equal to 3865. x की वैल्यू कितनी आएगी? x की वैल्यू 15 आ जाएगी. देख के लग रहा है 25 into 2 37.5, राइट? 37.5. so x 15 आ जाएगा. 5 मतलब इंटीजर आनी चाहिए ना, इंटीजर आनी चाहिए, right? So you can make a guess. You do not have to divide by this. You can say that x will come as 15. Okay, you will get x as 15. So this is the solution. So again, heavy calculation, okay, but we did in a smart way. Okay, so I'll repeat why did we take this 11 by 3, 28 minus 28x minus 60. देखो मैक्सिकन का हमने ये पार्ट निकाल दिया था, राइट? मैक्सिकन में एक पार्ट क्या आ रहा था? एक पार्ट ये 4x कॉमन वाला आ रहा था, ठीक है. वन पार्ट वाज 3x एंड यहाँ पे आ रहा था 3x माइनस 5 था या प्लस 5 था? हाँ, प्लस 5 था. और ये दिया था 18x माइनस 65, ठीक है. तो इस टोटल में ये मैक्सिकन का सर्कल की बात कर रहा हूं. सो इफ वी ऐड दिस, what did we get? We get 28x minus 60. ठीक है, that was 28 minus 60. Now we knew that Mexican, Chinese, Mexican and Indian, these were 9, मतलब जो भी था एक 7 के रेशियो में था. Mexican was 6, I think Indian was 9, right? So whatever, right? So Mexican is 6 parts, right? So 6 part is this. So if you add these individually, right, you will get 22 parts. 22 parts will be 22 by 6 or 11 by 3 of this time. Okay, that's how we get this. So whenever you add, see in a Venn diagram what you do, when you take individual count of values, right, when you count like this, add all these individually, right? So that is 1 plus 2 plus 3. This thing is 1 plus 2 plus 3 when you add individual values. When you add complete circles like this, that is 1 plus 2 times of 2 plus 3 times of 3. Okay, so that's what we did in this case. Because we were given these ratios, we added this and got this value. Okay, so I hope you got it now. Right, so whenever we add this, what happens? See, individual part 1 वाले तो एक बार आते ही हैं, 2 वाले 2 बार ऐड हो जाएंगे. देखो ये चाइनीज है, ये मैक्सिकन है, ये इंडियन है. जब मैं चाइनीज का सर्कल लूंगा ये पार्ट आएगा, मैक्सिकन का सर्कल लूंगा ये पार्ट फिर से आएगा. सो 2 टाइम्स हो गया. सिमिलरली चाइनीज के सर्कल में ये पार्ट आएगा, इंडियन के सर्कल में भी आएगा 2 टाइम्स, एंड दिस आल्सो 2 टाइम्स, एंड दिस कॉमन रीजन इज एडेड 3 टाइम्स. Okay, this is a very basic property that you should know. If you add the elements of I mean the 3 circles of Venn diagram completely, so you get this result. Okay, these two results help you determine the. Why did we take this thing? Why did we do this? Because we knew the total of this circle. We knew that it is equivalent to 6 parts. Okay. All right. So now let's solve the questions. Okay, so you will get 15 and hence you can calculate all the remaining values using the values of x. Otherwise, see, like you must be thinking कि हमने Chinese का क्यों नहीं निकाल दिया, right? फिर हमें equation बनानी पड़ती, we would have got something in fraction and then we got an equation for Chinese, then we would have got this thing. So बहुत लंबा पड़ जाता. Okay, so what is the number of people who like all three food items? All three food items is 60. Okay. What is the ratio of the number of people who like Chinese and Indian but not Mexican to the number of people who like Chinese and Mexican but not Indian? So I was just joking that it was a 7-8 minute, right? It was not, it was easily beyond 10 minutes just to solve the values. Okay, so Chinese and Indian but not Mexican. Be very, very careful about these words. Chinese and Indian but not Mexican. 35 हो गया, ठीक है? Who like Chinese and Mexican but not Indian. So 35 and 45, right? So 7:9, right? So this is the answer. The number of people who like only Chinese and only Mexican together, this and this, is approximately how much percent more or less than the number of people who like only Indian? The number of people who like only Chinese and only Mexican together, right, is approximately how much percent more or less than the number of people who like only Indian? So ये together कितना हो गया? 485, ठीक है, and this is 395. 90 more, 90 by 395, ठीक है. 400 का 400 का 90 कितना हो रहा है? 22.5%, right? So this will be 23%. 90 by 4 कितना होता है? 22.5. Slightly more than 22. बाकी options are far apart. Okay, so it will be 23%. Okay. The number of people who like only one type of food is how much more than the number of people who like exactly two types of food? Only one type minus exactly two types of food. So only one type is 600 plus 280, 880 minus two types of food. That is 80 plus 50 is 130. Okay, so the difference is 750. Okay, so that is the answer to this question. Okay, we have one more question. Out of the total number of people who like only Chinese, only Indian, and only Mexican, 65%, 80%, and 60% of the people eat at the same restaurant. Okay, if the restaurant owners makes a profit of 100, 120, and 150 on selling Chinese, Indian, and Mexican dishes respectively from each customer, find the total profit earned by the restaurant owner. So do this calculation. So what did you get as the answer? Calculated this? Okay, so let us do this. कि देखो Indian, Chinese, only Indian, and these profit is respectively. ठीक है, so 65% of 100 is 65. So Chinese को multiply कर देंगे 65 से. Okay, 80% of 120 is 96, and that is Indian, right? So Indian हो जाएगा 96 से multiply, and 60% of 150 is 90, right? So we'll multiply this. Okay, so I mean, maybe you might read calculator for this. Okay, one way is doing using calculators, right? Another way is probably I don't know, but that is one way to reject answers, right? So if you calculate this, ये आ रहा होगा 18,200. ठीक है, that will be 1845 this. ठीक है, 95 into 39500 minus, right? So you will get 70, and this is 5, right? So 570, this may answer, right? So you must have got this answer. Isn't it got this answer? Okay, so one way to do these questions is, I'm telling you a way which probably you learned in quant but not apply here, right? Which is digit sum. How many of you know this, the concept of digit sum? How many of you apply? See, in order to reduce your calculations, there are certain things. First thing is basically zeros, last digit wala concept, right? Last digit will not work because three options have same last digit. Okay. Now, another thing is, see, what are the hacks that you should apply? One is digit sum. So we will see all these three things. Last digit, I guess every one of you knows. Okay. Last digit सभी को पता होगा. ठीक है, then probably last digit did not work. Maybe you could have used last two digits. Last two digits कैसे? Last digit तो सब में zero आएगा, right? Zero आएगा, so second last digit. Second last digit you could have done is 280 into 65 will be basically 140 into 130. ठीक है, so इसमें last के two digits 00 हो गए. ठीक है, 95 into 96, right? So you could have done 790 into 48. ठीक है, so last digit इसमें 20 आ जाएगा. ठीक है, and this case the last two digits will be 50. ठीक है, so that is another way, but you are getting 70 in two of the options. ठीक है, अब ये भी थोड़ा confusing हो रहा है. So the third approach is using what? Using the digit sum, right? How do we use digit sum? Is that's a very useful thing, right? Remember this in case you get a big calculation, and I mean, try to keep your calm. Maybe that might help you. In many cases, that helps in getting the questions correct, right? So digit sum क्या होगा? 2 plus 8 plus 0 का digit कितना sum होता है? That is 1. Okay, you just keep adding. So that is 2. 1 into 2 2 हो गया. ठीक है. 90, see, wherever is a multiple of 9, right, it's a digit sum is 0. ठीक है, जहां जहां पे मल्टीपल ऑफ 9 आएगा वहां 0 आ जाएगा. सो सी वाले में आ गया आपका 2. ठीक है, देन एम में आ गया 0 एंड दिस में कितना आ जाएगा, दिस विल बी 12 प्लस 17 दैट इज 8 एंड दिस इज 6, 8 6 48, 48 3. ठीक है, आई में आ जाएगा 3. सो टोटल डिजिट सम इज 5, राइट. सो कीप दिस इज 17, राइट, आउट ऑफ पिक्चर. ओके, 10 15 21, ठीक है, 3 आ रहा है. ओके, नाउ इन दिस 18 plus 5 23, 5 आ रहा है. Okay, and this you are getting 4. So this thing helped. Okay, digit sum is one more way to solve questions without doing the actual calculation. ठीक है, और it is very less likely that a person would frame some calculation which satisfies all conditions. ठीक है, मे बी लास्ट डिजिट वो सबको पता है क्योंकि सबको लास्ट डिजिट पता रहता है, right? Everyone knows how to use the last digit, so maybe that person can trick by using the same last digit, right? The person can trick maybe using same last two digits, but very rare chance that the person might trick you with the digit sum. ठीक है, इतना दिमाग कोई नहीं लगाएगा ऑप्शंस बनाने में. So make sure that you know this thing as well. Okay, and do not panic. Instead of this, try that digit sum is a very fast way to check your answers. Okay, so all combination you can try. If nothing works, then of course you should go for that hard calculation thing. Okay, all right. So yeah, so this was the answer to this. Okay, so this was today's class. I hope you learned a lot of things out of this, right? We did 2 sets from the past, okay, which were asked in 2017 and 18 respectively, and we did 2 sets which were logically not difficult but calculation intensive, and we learned some methods how to tackle those calculations, right? How to tackle those heavy calculations in both the sets. Okay, and remember this equation, right? Clubbing of things, right? 1 plus 2 plus 3, 1 plus 2 times of 2 plus 3 times of 3. Okay, so those things you should be knowing this. Okay, we did not have any set on 4 by 4. Okay, so I think I did take one set in my marathon session, so that was it, right? So we'll see, like, if we have something in for that as well, right? But today we had these sets, not by 4 by 4 ones. Okay, all right, so that is for today's class. I hope you enjoyed the class. You learned some valuable techniques, how to reduce your calculations, how to be more accurate and fast while solving questions on Venn diagrams. Okay, so we covered different aspects of Venn diagrams and different varieties of problems. Okay, so thanks for attending the class. Have a great night. Goodbye.